Hi everyone, I'm here to do my to be read pile update for the month of March. I'm going to be doing these videos on a monthly basis just to share which books I plan to read in the next month. I've got a couple of books on my Kindle that I want to read, and then I have a couple of physical copies that I want to read as well. So let's get started with the books on my Kindle. First up, I will be reading This Is How It Feels by Candida, Harper, I think that's how you pronounce it. Which will be published in 2013. I got a proof to review, so I'm really looking forward to that. I don't know anything about the book except for that it's meant to be a dystopian, so I'm very much looking forward to reading it. Then the next book that I plan to read is The Changelings by Elle, which is the first book in the War of the Fae series. I will be participating in a blog tour for this one. So be on the lookout for that. I don't know too much about this book either. It's about fairies. Sounds good, very good things, so I'm looking forward to reading it. Then the next book that I will be reading is The New World by Patrick Ness, which is the prequel to the Chaos Walking series, which I love. This is the cover. It's only 24 pages, so it should be like 15-minute read. But I'm really looking forward to reading it. It's about Viola's trip to New World, and I'm really curious to see what it tells me. Then I will be reading a couple of NetGalley titles. I will be reading This Is Not a Test by Courtney Summers, which doesn't have a cover. I own a couple of Courtney Summers books, but I have not read any of them so far. But I plan on changing that by reading This Is Not a Test first. It's a zombie post-apocalyptic story. It sounds really, really good. Really looking forward to reading it. I've heard nothing but good things about it, so I'm very, very excited to see how it turns out. The next book that I will be reading that I got from NetGalley is Starters by Lissa, which doesn't have a cover. I've heard nothing but good things about this book. I'm very excited to read it. It's a debut for 2012, so if you're participating in the debut author challenge, definitely add that one to your to be read pile. The last one from NetGalley that I have on my Kindle that I will be reading in March is Wanderlove by Kirsten, Hubbard, and I don't have a cover for that one, but I do have these pretty butterflies, which is a contemporary, and I haven't read that many contemporaries. I think 2 or 3 this year, so I definitely need to change that. But it sounds really, really good. Everyone is raving about this book. It has drawings by Kerstin in it, and it sounds so, so good. Really looking forward to reading it, and I will be adding a review of that one on my channel as well. So those were the books on my Kindle that I plan to read. Now I have a little pile of books in front of me that I will be reading in March as well. First up, I will be reading The Goddess Test by Aimee Carter. I know I had this one in my last to be read pile update for February, but I ran out of time and I didn't have time to read it this month. But it's the 29th of February right now, and I'm going to start it tonight. So I'm really looking forward to reading it. It's about the Persephone and Hades myth, and I've heard some mixed things about it, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway because it has Greek myth, so yeah. Next I have a Dutch book that I want to read in March. It's Robijnrood door Kerstin, Gier, which is called Ruby Red in English. It's the first book in the Edelstein trilogy. I don't know the English title for the series, I'm sorry. But it's a time travel novel, and I won this book in the summer of 2011. I still haven't read it. I own the second book, and the third book just came out last month, so I really should get to this one, and I'm so, so excited because I've heard so many great things. Everyone's raving about it, so I really should get to this. Really looking forward to reading it, and I quite like the cover. And the next Dutch book that I will be reading is Soulmates, Het Verhaal van Sky, by Stirling. I think this one is called Finding Sky, and it's the first book in the Benedict series. I've heard so many great things about this series, mainly from my UK bookish friends. It sounds really, really good, but also a bit, I'm afraid for insta-love, let's put it that way, because it says that you need to find your soulmate to find the other half of your gifts, something like that. But it looks really, really good, and the book is quite thick. I really like the cover. So I'll be reading this one as well. I will be putting a review for this one on my Dutch blog and probably also on my English blog, so yay! And lastly, I have 2 English books that I want to read in the month of March. And I'm sorry that I say month of March, it's so much in this video. It's Daughter of the Flames by Zoe Marriott, and I've been meaning to get to this one earlier, but I hadn't because my to-be-read pile was threatening to kill me when it toppled over. But I'm definitely going to be reading this one in March. I'm so excited because Zoe is such a lovely lady. I follow her on Twitter. If you do not follow her on Twitter yet, I will leave a linky down below to her Twitter account. She's such a lovely person. And I'm really looking forward to reading it. I've heard nothing but good things about this book and her other books, really. So very excited to start this one. And then last but definitely not least, for this to-be-read pile video, I have Monsters of Men, the final book in the Chaos Walking trilogy by Patrick Ness. I only read The Ask and the Answer in February. It was so good, and I will be reading this one in March, so I'll be able to put my review up in my Chaos Walking week that I will be hosting in the last week of March. It's a really big book. It has 600 pages, but this series is so good. Really looking forward to seeing how the series ends. Book 2 was my favorite so far. So yeah, I'm very excited to see where this one goes. So that's everything that I plan to read in the month of March. I might switch it up a bit or add some more books if I manage to read all of these, which I highly doubt, but you never know. Let me know in the comments below what you will be reading for the next couple of weeks or maybe the entire month. I would love to know what you guys have planned, so I can take some inspiration from it. So yeah, that's everything for now, and I'll talk to you guys later.